Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now it has officially been confirmed that we will be seeing Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a triple threat match that seems like they didn't know what to do with Roman Reigns after The Rock said that he couldn't do Mania this year, and it looks like it's caused the WWE to fumble and not have a suitable backup option available for the Tribal Chief. Now I personally would have preferred any one of these three in a one-on-one feud, but it is what it is. They can still pull something off by improvising, like my theory for example. But let's remember, just because it's my theory, it doesn't mean I think it will happen. Before I get into it, I have a Jey Uso turns heel video which will be down below in the description if you wish to check that out. I'd appreciate if you could like the video, sub to the channel, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So this triple threat in my opinion is more hyped because of the names rather than the story at the moment. That can still change, but I think the names are actually carrying this feud. Going into it, I personally have no interest, but the match will definitely be good. For me, while Roman is my favourite wrestler in this match, I didn't buy that promo he gave on Friday about him being mad at CM Punk because he eliminated him from the Rumble. People will say, yeah, but they teamed together at War Games, but it was a one-time thing and they made it clear, so they don't owe each other any favours or anything. However, WWE needed an excuse to force Roman into this match because Paul Heyman, in my opinion, will be the plot device in this fight. We know Roman Reigns has been the main character for WWE in the last 5 years, with the bloodline story affecting so many characters and creating so many stories for those characters, and the only end to this whole bloodline saga is with a final fight between The Rock and Roman Reigns, which has to happen at the next Wrestlemania, otherwise just forget about that match. There's been a lot of speculation about Paul Heyman and what he's going to do in this match. Everyone talks about the CM Punk favour and Paul Heyman is going to screw over Roman Reigns since Punk is the original Paul Heyman guy, which could happen. However, this is how I'd have that match play out. Paul Heyman gets in the ring, Roman and Punk stand up, Paul Heyman sides with Roman and low blows him, which would imply that the favour was for Paul Heyman to betray Roman Reigns. However, as the crowd pops, Paul Heyman goes to CM Punk, hugs him and attacks him as well. Then comes Seth Rollins to deliver a curb stomp on Punk and win the match. People would be confused as to why Paul Heyman betrayed both of his guys for Seth Rollins. But as that's happening, The Rock comes out, the final boss, shakes Seth's hand and they both attack Roman Reigns. As much as Paul Heyman works for Roman, let's not forget, he's worked for this family decades before Roman Reigns became the Tribal Chief. The Rock is now the High Chief, so if Paul gets instruction from the High Chief, then it's more important than what the Tribal Chief has to say. The whole point is that the same way The Rock recruited Cena, he has also recruited Seth Rollins to get back at Roman Reigns. Let's not forget that The Rock still hasn't done anything regarding Roman Reigns' loss at WrestleMania last year, and he also hasn't done anything regarding Roman Reigns at Bad Blood when he gave the signal to Roman and Cody. We obviously know what happened to Cody since, but nothing has actually happened to Roman. This move of having Seth Rollins win through Paul Heyman would not only be a shock, but it benefits Seth's character the most to win this triple threat, especially if it's done in this heel way. It would start his heel run, which for me, Seth Rollins has always been better as a heel than a face, with his prime, in my opinion, being the authority Seth Rollins. His heel turn, in my opinion, has been way overdue, and slowly but surely he's just been coasting through these past months. He's becoming stale. Now you may be thinking, why would The Rock choose Seth Rollins in particular? Well, Seth is Roman Reigns' kryptonite as we start the end game between The Rock and Roman Reigns. Seth and Roman have this rivalry which will go on forever, and they already have about 10 years of this rivalry. We even saw while Roman Reigns was champion, this was meant to be the Tribal Chief, cool, calm, collected, but he was rattled by Seth Rollins, and Seth was the only guy to really get under Roman Reigns' skin with all the mind games and all the tricks. Roman got himself disqualified at the Royal Rumble because he was too focused on destroying Seth Rollins. Also, Roman lost the belts at Mania because he was too obsessed with Seth Rollins and focused on him instead of focusing on Cody, so Seth ties in perfectly already. The Rock choosing Seth Rollins as his champion would be reminiscent of when Seth joined the Authority, and it would add an extra layer to The Rock and Roman Reigns' match next year at Mania if it does happen, which could be The Rock as this new authority figure, which we've kind of already seen, but this would make his presence even bigger. And when he faces Roman Reigns, it would be more than just a bloodline fight. It would be Roman trying to stop The Rock's final boss authority power once and for all. What this does for Seth is it would allow Seth to strengthen himself in this feud with Roman by joining The Rock. As I said, Seth is Roman's kryptonite, but Seth representing The Rock allows The Rock and John Cena's presence to still be felt while they do their part-time schedules through Seth Rollins, who actually shows up to work every week, eventually would win his World Heavyweight title back. This would also be very beneficial for Raw because they don't have any main event heels at the moment which are actually good, with Gunther losing his stock pretty much every week in this feud with Jey Uso. And for The Rock to just get Seth on his side would trigger Roman, but it would also trigger Cody Rhodes because we know Seth was Cody's shield last year, so turning heel on both of them is perfect and makes things more interesting across the board on SmackDown and Raw. As for Seth Rollins' character recently, he gets into these big feuds as a face. He says, I hate you McIntyre, I hate you Punk, I hate you this person. He does all of this just to actually lose the feud. So it's about time he actually wins a relevant feud when he isn't the World Heavyweight Champion. Let's also talk about his WrestleMania matches recently, by the way, because his record is an absolute joke for a main event that he is. Since WrestleMania 36, he has lost 5 out of his 6 matches, with his only win being against Logan Paul. So in my opinion, he is definitely owed a big win for putting over all these people in the last 6. Seth is also the only character in this feud with believable and valid hatred towards both of his opponents, so it would make his win even more meaningful and satisfying for his character. If Roman or Punk win this match, it doesn't really do anything in terms of pushing plot. They're not going to turn heel, and it would just be a nice accolade for their characters to have. Maybe this triple threat win allows them to push for a belt, but Roman won't get a chance to claim the WWE Championship for a while, in my opinion. As long as Cena and Cody are still there, they are the main people for that belt. And I don't see him chasing the World Heavyweight title. Punk, I could see him going for the World Heavyweight title, but I don't know. I think Seth turning heel is the only way that this feud gains a shock factor, plus meaningful and organic long-term storytelling, which is the way that WWE likes to do things under Triple H. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Who do you think will win the match? How do you think it will happen? What will be the shock factor? I'd appreciate if you could like the video, sub to the channel as we close in on 1K subscribers. Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your day.